Hey everyone, D3 here from BrightIdeaScouting.com. Just a quick shout out to all of you last night that were on the Cub chat on Twitter. Hello, we had a great conversation about conservation and Earth Day. So if you aren't a part of that, I'd first of all encourage you to join Twitter and look up the hashtag Cub chat. And look at the last thing. We had a lot of great resources for those of us that were out there talking about all the conservation and how do we teach leave no trace to the kids. Great resource. You can find me at Bright Idea. Also take a look at the Cub Scouts and a bunch of others there. Like them, follow them on Twitter. And just keep the conversation. We have that conversation every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. And it's just great to get all your resources from people around the country with what they've been doing. But the question came in the other day. Hey, D3, I've noticed in a lot of your training, you've mentioned wood badge. What is wood badge? Hey, that's a great question, Jane. And so what is wood badge? Wood badge is sort of the premier training for leadership for the adult scouters. So if you're a Cub Scout leader, Boy Scout leader, venturing crew advisor, this is for you. Honestly, it's not really promoted heavily in the Cub Scout ranks. A lot of times as Cub Scout leaders, whether you're a committee chair, den leader, Cub master, we're so busy with what we're doing, we generally don't take time for ourselves and work on our leadership skills, work on our networking skills, work on our presentation skills, and stuff like that. And so a lot of times in these courses, when I took this course 2 years ago, there was about 30 of us in there. I was one of 2 people that worked in the Cub Scout area. The rest were all Boy Scouts, because once your boy crosses over into Boy Scouts, the leadership's roles are placed upon the boys versus the leaders. There's still stuff for adults to do, but the bulk of the work, the preparation, all the stuff behind the scenes, a lot of that goes back to the boys during the meeting. So Wood Badge is an amazing experience. It is a 6-day class, generally speaking, taken over 2 3-day weekends, and it's all weekend. I mean, we would start at 7:30, 8 o'clock Friday morning and go until 4 or 5 o'clock Sunday. And it's just constant learning. They put you into patrols, just kind of like Boy Scouts, and you work with a team of 5 or 6 people of varying degrees of leadership, of experience, of backgrounds, and they become lifelong friends. I'm a Bob White, and I have great friends who are other Bob Whites as well for that. So how did it start? Baden Powell saw, after he started the Boy Scouts, that in 1911 that there needed to be some training for the leaders. And so in 1911 he started scouting for scoutmasters. If you remember the original book, Scouting for Boys, is what kind of started the Boy Scout revolution. Scouting for scoutmasters was then the training to help these scoutmasters lead all these patrols of boys. But by 1911, he'd kind of got the format, got the content, and officially started the first Wood Badge clinic then. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to go through. I don't want to spoil as to what you're going into, but it's a lot of leadership, a lot of thought-provoking stuff. It's going to make you think about who you are and what your goals are in your life and in your role in scouting. At the end of the event, you're going to come away with 5 to-do items, which we call tickets. These are 5 tickets that you pick out. And you have 18 months to work on them. And once you complete them, there's a beautiful beading ceremony to get a nice new neckerchief. You get a leather neckerchief tie and some beads. It's a wonderful ceremony that caps it off. But those 5 tickets are really, how do you want to impact scouting? And so this podcast kind of indirectly came out of what I did there. One of my tickets was to help better communicate and better train my leaders in the pack. And so I tried all sorts of stuff. Tried, newsletters, tried email blasts. And what started to stick was a weekly video of me kind of giving the announcements and stuff. And so I kind of got used to using this and decided to just roll it into weekly for a training for everybody. And that's kind of the beginnings of this podcast, was working on that. So, at the end of the class, you're going to become a better learner. You're going to become a better leader, better parent, better employee, better boss, if that's your role. And you're going to have some clear goals to really help scouting out. And then after those 5 things, your 5 tickets are done, scouting for you will be much better. And those tickets, like I said before, are custom to what you want to do. So if you're a Cub Master, they're going to be Cub Master goals. If you work at the district level and you're maybe a committee chair or a training chairman, goals are going to be like that. If you work at the council level, so many things there. And so we want you to succeed in whatever areas. And so you pick those out. I'd have you take a look. If you don't know if there's one in your area, first of all, contact your DE, your district executive, see if there's any upcoming wood badges in your council. Or you can take a look at woodbadge.org, where there's a national listing of everything that's going on. So you can check that and see. I know when I spot checked it earlier today, there's a bunch. I'm in the central region. There's a bunch, something going on every month. Sometimes multiples a month, going around all around the country. And so it's an amazing experience. It's an amazing training experience. I'd highly recommend it because I believe that through better training, which is why we do this podcast, through better training, I believe we have better packs, better troops, better districts, and the boys get a better program. So until next time, learn everything you can, share everything you know, live by the Scout Oath and Scout Law, and tomorrow we will be coming to you from a secret location. See you tomorrow.